Welcome back to the Gold League for World of Tanks. As a reminder, if you're a huge fan of these teams making it to the finals, let us know on Twitter at WGLNA. Send us a picture, maybe you and some face paint, a jersey that you made, a Photoshop, a quick description why you are rooting for the specific team that you want to win. Take home the $50,000. Second place takes home $25,000. Simp took second place in Season 1 and Season 2. And that's a team, again, that is always gunning for first place. Every team here is gunning for first place. These two next teams, River of Blood versus Game Over, though, they're gunning just to make it through to the playoffs. So what's the history between these two teams? Where do they stand right now, Ruko?
Well, Game Over was almost in the situation last season. They had to go through that big playoff tiebreaker situation. They didn't come through for Pub Stars, but they performed very well. They're in almost the same spot in their bracket as they were last season. River of Blood consistently has trouble getting into a secure place. They just Season 1 and 2, they couldn't get a win at the beginning of the season. They come back with just a streak of wins. But this season, they won in the lot in the beginning, and then they've kind of petered off in the end. This win, they really need it. And just like every season, they need that last win to make it to the finals.
We'll have a face-off between these two team captains in just a bit when we get that set up. The difficulty of River of Blood, they looked great at the beginning of the season, and I can just imagine the frustration that they're in, but when you label a team as the best under pressure, I'd have to say it's probably River of Blood.
They definitely stay cool every single time. Yeah. I wonder if they're going to keep it going, though, or if they might break that. I don't know.
We'll see. It's time for the face-off between River of Blood and Game Over. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, Captain Blood, this is it. You guys are under pressure. You've made it this far. One more, you guys make it.
Yeah. This is we're like at the halfway point of our season now. We just have to win now, and then tomorrow again. And you know, I should have took the blue pill.
Yeah, but you didn't. Gigmaster, this is almost the same thing. You guys are also midway through your bracket. This is just like Season 2 for you guys. What's it feel like to be in almost the same place again?
Yeah, let's see what I can do now. We are also under pressure now, but we are excited. We've been training. We trained a lot yesterday and today, and hopefully we're gonna make Captain Blood life a little harder today.
All right. Well, Captain Blood, do you have that code again ready for today? I know
yeah. If you want me to do one, I guess everyone. To be fair, everyone should be following at River of Blood, WOT. And someone keeps winning one of these big codes. Lots of credits. I wish I had one of these. 300,000 credits. So anyway, so here's the tank for today that you got to name. No extra features necessary. Let's see.
That one's easy mode.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Suspicious looking gun on the other side. All right, yeah, just tweet us that, and someone randomly of the first 20 will win again.
All right. Gigmaster,
Where's my code?
You want a code?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we'll see. We'll work on that.
Well, maybe you can guess, Gigmaster. You might get it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. Any last words for each other, River Blood, Captain Blood?
You know, I'm gonna do something I've never done before and just go with, hey, you know what? Good luck, have fun, and hope this is a good match, and may the best team win.
And Gigmaster.
Same to you, and you can expect some crazy things tonight. So.
Okay.
Well, we're looking forward to that. River of Blood, you have the higher seed. Heads or tails on the coin flip?
Tails never fails.
Tails is the call, and the flip is tails. Map choice or defer?
Defer.
Defer. Game over. Your map choice.
Himmelsdorf.
Himmelsdorf.
Of
Surprise.
Yeah, not a surprise.
We'll take south.
South side on Himmelsdorf, River of Blood. To the north will be game over. Gentlemen, I know this may be it for one of you for Season 3. It's been a pleasure, and best of luck.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Right. It's kind of tough, man, when you say goodbye, even if it's for a short while until next season.
Yeah, but I think they'll both be sticking around almost no matter what. Game Over, they could lose out in relegation next season. They could, but I don't expect it to happen. Game Over is one of the premier teams. I don't know if anybody is left in the Silver League right now to take them on. So I'm really hoping we see them next season. River of Blood, same thing. I don't think we'd see any of them go anywhere. I can't imagine the league without them right now.
When I think of Himmelsdorf and Game Over, this is a map I believe they've chosen pretty much every time, 90% of the time when they do have map choice. I remember most clearly the flag cap screen that they did when they had the 5100s block for the T1s that were getting the flag cap. I feel this is a map that they kind of perform the best on, that they set the tone, that they set the pace for the rest of the series. But against other teams, no matter who, even if it is a win, they have trouble and difficulty in other maps. And it's difficult when you set up a specific scenario, a specific strategy, let's say on Himmelsdorf, that works so well for the type of talent and tanks that your team brings, but it won't work the same on Himmelsdorf. Remember, just place your bets, guys. Top performer taking home that Type 59 tank. You have any questions, ask people in chat. And what does Himmelsdorf look on the telestrator?
All right, and just as you're talking about, I think it might be a mistake for River of Blood to pick the south side on Himmelsdorf because, as we all know, we'll expect train station window opening by game over. They're going to take that one line, push a T1 down. After they make it down the one line, I'm expecting them to make it onto the 2 line, take control of that, and from there, push their opponent's cap. Screen it, just like you were talking about, so that a response from the G line moving down just along the 4 line will be stopped cold. And the cap can safely continue after they push them on. It depends on River of Blood. If they're expecting it and if they let it happen enough, they could bait game over into the proper position, but we'll have to see in battle when that actually happens.
Yeah, we definitely will. I believe game over, let me triple check, only has 6 players tonight, not
Really?
7.
That's not good. That really hurts because Himmelsdorf is the map that they needed, the 2 T1s, to make the cap pressure work. Without those 2 T1s, I don't think making cap work is going to be nearly as easy. They're going to have to get a huge lead before they can make that cap fast any kind of a success.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. But we have seen teams with 6 players win against teams with 7, and that comes down to the individual player skills for both the teams in those scenarios. I believe that was season 2. I can't remember the team.
Yeah,
exactly.
I can't remember that happening in season 3.
But it did happen. Season 3, no, we have not had that happen.
We rarely have 6 players ever. Almost everyone gets 7, but sometimes internet issues happen. Yeah. I mean, from time to time.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
And most of these guys are in Brazil, so sometimes someone has some internet issues. Unfortunately, well, we're glad that it's not like it happened, I think, a few months ago, where one of the main internet connections from South America and North America just broke. Yep. Just one of those deep sea lines just wasn't going, and they had the worst connections for a few days. Luckily, it was resolved before we actually had play. But for a little while, I was sitting there going, oh no, our Cazadores in Game Over are going to have the worst time playing in the history of tanks. Are they going to have 500 to like 1,000 ping consistently? That would have been bad.
That's tough. Well, he'll play. We do see some of these teams bring that out. But it's mostly been this season either one T1 versus another T1 or one Tier 8 versus another Tier 8. And a lot of times if that T1 falls, the Tier 8 will fall back to the rest of the firefight.
Yeah, a lot of teams don't want to have their Tier 8s 1v1 on the top. It's really risky, especially with 5100s. One missed shot could mean the difference between you losing and winning that fight. Of course, consistency, the best player comes ahead, but sometimes things just happen, and you get a bounce, or you just happen to miss, or you shoot their gun, and your shot doesn't do anything after hitting their gun. They make the saving roll, and their gun's fine. Stuff happens. So generally, people avoid that 1v1 fight. It's not as consistent without the ability to focus fire. You kind of don't feel as confident. These guys want to play as a team together with battle buddies.
Definitely to play as a team, coordinated, on point, not just with their shots, but with your position. And around these corners, especially with the usage of the courtyard, these teams are starting to bring some very exciting matches. Well, it's time to find out who's going to take battle number 1 between River of Blood and Game Over on Himmelsdorf.
All right, looking at the tanks, Dopper in the 5100 with 4 IS-3s. I like this. This is what we're seeing out of River of Blood a lot. No surprises there. On the other side, though, I see tanking Doc in the IS-6. Guess top tier must have been talking to him, said, hey guys, the IS-6 is great. And they must have listened. So tanking Doc is in the IS-6. We're off beta 110 and 3 5100s.
Well, they're all good. All 7 players are there. And
Guess he must have showed up last second.
last second, just made it in. I'm going to go ahead and follow Gigmaster in the T1. More towards the west is his
Look at this 8-line
Nip
push.
100.
I think we might, yep, just Savagey going right down the 8-line. And there's across the courtyard. Ralpha Beta may be in a bad place because River Blood just might stop and find him, but Savagey is actually going to hesitate.
Well, Taking Daka in the IS-6 is the closest one to the corner, but the courtyard is completely open for Rafa Beta to get annihilated, but not as many shots going in against him yet. Savagey takes a big shot to the front. It bounces, though, however, gets hit from the side. Taking Daka on the IS-6, trying to get another shot here after his reload.
Although that IS-6 just not having quite the pen. I'm going to go look, see. Where did he bounce on Savagey? Oh, it looks like he hit the front, went to spaced armor. Not quite there. The kind of, I say shoulders or the sides of the front armor of the IS-3 actually go into a space side clutch. You had a segment on the IS-3 where you actually showed us those space sides. And Taking Daka takes 2 hits from River of Blood right down the 8-line, but return fire from Taking Daka.
You actually store things in those space sides, but when you look at a tank, it's square, obviously, but inside it's triangular, which is a lot of space stormer that tries to help protect the crew, but it's also very uncomfortable inside. But speaking of uncomfortable, Nip 100 getting shot up from Doc Golem on his side since 5100. Let's check in with him real quick. And he is getting annihilated from one more hit. Dopper lines up the shot and gets the kill. Tank number 1 falls.
That's tank number 2, Clutch.
Or tank number 2. Rafa Beta fell just before that.
Yes, Rafa Beta lost that fight. Although in the south, I see a T1 fight happening between standoff between GQ and Gigmaster. If Gigmaster is able to get in the backfield, make something happen, although Ariador has just died on the hill to Canaduck. So Canaduck will now be able to put on cap pressure, but I don't see this going anywhere very well for the side of Game Over. They're just down 2 tier 8s and a tier 1 now. Not a lot they can do.
Taking Daka. 775 sees Savagey. And they're going to play that corner game. Savagey doesn't, I don't know if he can tell if Gandorfo's right behind him. An Extreme in the 5100 could be intercepted by Rylak in his IS-3. Here's 2AP3 right behind Savagey. They're creeping up. Still no engagement yet.
Dangerous. On the other side, the standoff between C1s is still happening. But regardless, we've got to push now Doc Golem and Dopper right up the 3-line. Doc Golem will be right behind enemy lines in just a moment to unload on this 5100. He misses on Extreme. Dopper, though, lines up further down the line looking for Gandorfo.
And Dorfo takes a big hit from behind, and now he can push in and destroy these 2 IS-3s. There's 1 shot. 2AP3 missed 2 of his last shots, and now he falls. It's up to Dopper and Doc Golem to clean up what's left. Taking Doc and Gandorfo, the last tier 8s. Doc Golem still far behind the IS-3 at 288 hit points. And his
and in the south, GQ lost to Gigmaster. Gigmaster can put counter cap pressure, although Canaduck is already on cap. 1 minute left on that cap for this fight to be resolved.
Tanking pushes up in the IS-6 to get closer. Fires just over Rylak. Dopper lands a shot into Taking Daka. And the 5100 tries to fire another hit. Now Taking Daka and Gandorfo below 400 HP. Taking Daka hits Rylak.
Oh, that's his ammo rack. It's damaged. Could have blown him up, almost. But I think Rylak has... Nope, doesn't have wood ammo. Could have gone up.
Taking Daka takes another hit to the front in his IS-6, 111. Doc Golem gets a kill against Gandorfo. No, Rylak can push up against Taking Daka. 23 seconds left on the flag cap. 1 tier 8 left to go in that IS-6. He falls to Rylak. It's all up to Gigmaster in the T1, hiding in the crack of a church with 15 seconds left.
Doesn't matter. That's Canaduck's cap points on the red base. He's got it 1. Doesn't matter if they get this T1 kill. They've still got it 1. River Blood wins on 2 fronts on Himmelsdorf.
And 2, 1. River of Blood is able to take battle number 1 in Himmelsdorf against Game Over. I liked the positioning, again, of that courtyard play. These teams are utilizing that section of the map better. And it came down, however, to that flank from Doc Golem and his battle buddy. Getting those shots on those 5100s, softening the IS-3s, cleared that alleyway, and they were able to push in.
I just don't like putting Taking Daka in the fountain in the open. I feel like it's too exposed. I don't think the fountain grants enough advantages as just crossing completely does. So I don't agree with Game Over strat on this. I think their original strat, the 1-2 line push, they do much better in that respect, and they perform so much stronger in that strategy. Of course, they're going to a new one because they feel like they'll be countered out, but River Blood played what everyone expected. They played the G line. They played that, and they spread out a little bit. They pushed the 8 line a little. No surprises there from River of Blood. I think Game Over could have made the Cap Fast succeed in this battle.
They could have. They could have. But I completely agree with you. There's no real reason to have that tank in the center because he becomes a bullseye for everyone. And they can adjust accordingly to get better shots on him.
Safely as well.
And, yeah, so I don't know the exact reasoning of why he is there, unless it's some sort of distraction. But why would you have a tank that powerful and that necessary in your lineup to be a distraction, to take that much damage?
Yeah, not enough of a response from the rest of the tanks, I think, of game over. If they push the 8 line with that, maybe they could make that happen, because then you have the 110 is ready to get into the fight or not get into the fight depending on what happens on the 8 line. Because if you meet on the 8 line, he's got great flank fire into the sides of tanks, and also he can cross the rest of the courtyard, maybe get into the backfield depending on what happens. Interesting play, but now we head over to Mines.
And we saw in Mines was a very fast battle between Refuse to Die and Fulcrum Gaming. Could be a different scenario here. Game Over hangs back on Mines from what we've seen so far. They've had their 5100s that they'll bring to this map hang in the backfield, and it worked well when they went up against the Cazadores, right? Cazadores went for waterside play. Game Over had their 5100s to the back, and that was a defensive spot for Game Over that Cazadores had to adjust accordingly because of it. Well, when you have those 5100s that far behind, and if you win the hill battle, then those 5100s have 1 or 2 places that they can be behind cover close to the flag cap, and that's about it. So then you look towards the east, and what can you accomplish on the east side of the map? So when you have that type of play, when you play really defensive, you give up that map control, and then you have 3 approaches into your base. That's going to be really difficult to guard against.
And on top of that, Game Over in the past has made a mistake of not moving the 5100s up, I think, when they very well should have been. When you make a push to take the hill back, you have to bring the 5100s up with it. Their ability to support your tanks on the hill is very limited now. I feel with the changes to the hill, it actually restricts some fire from the southern base into the hill. Whereas previously, it was a little bit more open. There were shots that were more easily accessible from there. That's the mistake from Game Over. I wonder if they'll bring a new strat, though, if they might abandon that old 5100 strat. But battle has begun. We'll have to see.
We'll have to see indeed in battle number 2 between River of Blood and Game Over on Mines. Let's battle.
And looking at it, I see 5100 T32 with Pershing, T69, and a 1390 for River of Blood. Nice rainbow strat. And Game Over will bring 2 5100s, a T32, Pershing, and a T69. I think we might be seeing that same play they've done every single time. Very defensive, and I hope they don't leave tanks behind on cap.
Out of options in order to push up from the hillside. And now Game Over. Not pushing it.
It wouldn't be smart for them to make
No, it wouldn't, but Gigmaster now has gotten closer, and it's 3 tanks in the lineup instead of 2, as we saw before, with 1 minute and 3 seconds left now. Clock's ticking. I feel this could be a draw.
Very possibly. 2 AP3s on the hill, though. I think they could be using him to shoot down into the backs of some of these tanks. He has the gun depression where the 1390 doesn't. And I don't think, 49 seconds left. I don't think we're going to see any kind of victory here. Extreme is far too out of the fight for any members of River of Blood to find it before timer ticks down. And Game Over is the only team that could win here. I don't think River of Blood could find a win.
T69 dodges a shot. Doppler gets a hit against the Pershing. He takes more damage than his 5100 though. Another shot against the Pershing against Rafa. Tanking Daga pushing up against the Pershing and misses a shot against 2AP. He takes a hit. Doppler trades more blows with Gigmaster. 2AP3 finally takes a blow. Rylak holding back in the T32. And there's that big hit from the 5100 against Doppler. That's what they're afraid of. That's why River of Blood's not pushing out. Rafa almost dead, 106 HP. 3 seconds left to go. Doppler does get the kill against Rafa. And this will be a draw in battle number 2 on Mines.
Yeah, with that kind of play, it's no surprise you get a draw. You've got great defensive play by Game Over. It's very difficult to assail those positions, and River Blood didn't find the answer. They didn't go west. West was the answer for them. Get a 1390 out there, kill the T1. Unfortunately, Game Over's too well prepared. Those great shots into 2 T1s, they take them down too easily, protect their own T1, and secure the west for them.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. We come back. Battle number 3 of River of Blood versus Game Over. Stay tuned. You're watching the Gold League for World of Tanks.
Welcome back to the garage. Let's take a look at the equipment and crew skills for your Rom Borsig Waffenträger. Since this take is all about firepower, you want to fire faster and more accurately. Your first piece of equipment should be the long-range caliber tank gun rammer, reducing loading time by 10%. Next up is the enhanced gun laying drive, adding plus 10% to aiming speed. The third option could be the binocular telescope, adding plus 25% to view range when stationary, or coated optics, adding plus 10% to view range at all times. Another possible combination is camo net, reducing the detection chance of the vehicle when stationary, and binocular telescope. Now for the crew skills. For the commander, Sixth Sense, camouflage, brothers in arms. For the gunner, camouflage, brothers in arms, and armor. For the driver, camouflage, brothers in arms, and off-road driving. For the loader, camouflage, brothers in arms, and adrenaline rush. With the right tools and skills on your quote-unquote rumba, it's time to show up and blow up on the battlefield.
Show up and blow up indeed, and that's what we're waiting to see these two teams do on the next battle, which will be Cliff. We have about 60 seconds left until they start the battle. River Blood versus Game Over. 5100s on Cliff from Game Over. Your thoughts?
I don't really know about that. That's a strange one. You bring in a lot of damage, yes, and a slightly larger health pool, yes, but 1390s have a little more mobility. Now, with the way we've seen this play out, you could get 5100s into the right position, right on the backside of the Lighthouse Hill, but I feel like you're a big target there. You could get outflanked very easily.
You become a huge target whenever you're playing a 5100 because the enemy team knows if we can shut you down, there goes most of the burst damage for the team.
Exactly. You're a crutch for your team. They lean on you for damage, but the thing is, you're kind of not made out of the best quality wood. So you may snap if someone puts on a few extra pounds.
Well, especially if a big ammo rack hits you, which was what we saw last night against Mexibeam. Huge ammo rack on that.
Yeah, that was 2 shots from an IS-3 hitting in perfect positions on a 5100. Even a 5100 can go up and smoke just like that. IS-3s are sensitive, but 5100s, we don't need to forget about them.
Even with a wet ammo rack, it can still happen. Cliff is the map for battle number 3, River of Blood versus Game Over. Let's battle.
Looking at the tanks, I see a Pershing and 4 1390s on an MS-1 for River of Blood. I think we remember the strat from yesterday, Clutch, and Game Over with a Pershing, 2 T-69s, and 2 1390s. Now, River of Blood has the north side. I'm expecting them to give up the entire west. They're not going to take it. They're not going to put any T1s down there. They're actually going to just watch their own base with the T1s and use that MS-1 as some nice sniping because it can pen 1390s.
And it can do so annoyingly. But so can T1s, more from the backside.
Well, a little 20 mil doesn't do so well at range.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. But we have seen more T1s kill Tier 8 tanks this season than any other season combined.
I think it's just because T1 players are getting that much better at controlling their tanks. They understand how to shoot, where to shoot, and how their gun is going to perform. Because you don't see that many people becoming masters of T1s in regular play. When you play in pubs, you don't see people playing only T1s. There's only 1 or 2 people that actually do that, play T1s all day. And, well, none of them really go to pros, unfortunately.
Yeah. And you do see a lot of teams changing out their T1 players as well.
Although Canaduck has been a pretty consistent T1 player, and he performs rather well for River of Blood. There are people like on Fulcrum, you see Relics is a pretty common player to see in a T1. He does a pretty solid job. Simps, I think it's Moddable. Moddable is a pretty good T1 player.
Formerly known as Moadib.
Moadib,
Not
yep.
known as Moddable.
But that's thanks to you, Clutch.
I take full credit.
And you
but
should.
he's such a cool guy that it's Moddable sounded more right.
Oh, we may have Game Over playing into the hands of River of Blood in this match. I feel like I'm getting a feeling of deja vu here.
Same type of strategy by having those T1s back in a defensive play, not going down the west. It worked for him last time, and it could work for him again here. But Nip 100 is not going on a full-on engagement. He sees the Pershing from far away, Doc Golem. Very tough shot for a 1390 to make. He fires anyways. Blind fire coming from Nip 100. You know how close that was, Rootkill?
Nah, I don't think it was close at all. Doc Golem looks pretty comfy on the top of this hill. He has the high ground advantage. He's in a Pershing. Turret is the most likely target that they'd hit if they fired at him. And even so, nice sloping on his front armor. It's about 101 millimeters sloped. Don't know what exactly it'll be performing at with enemies a little bit lower than him, but it should be sufficient to bounce a few shells here and there if they're not aimed quite well enough. Game Over is at a disadvantage in this situation, I think. They'll have to be careful, but it comes down to this 1390 play. Doppler is heading all the way to the south, and he's actually found tanking Daka. Taking Daka is spotted in the south part of this map. And that will actually cause Doppler to stop and hesitate for a moment as he decides what to do. Forward? Maybe not. I'll just drive back and forth for a minute. Yeah, okay, he's going to go forward. He's decided. And he may engage 1v1, but that's risky because I see 3 T-69s in Foxtrot 3, I think.
Rafa Beta and the Pershing looking for any available shot. None are presently available for him.
Well, but River Blood is lining up shots. They're looking for that 1390.
Oh, sees Rylak fires. It's a miss. Doc Golem, the only other tank that is spotted, he gets hit to the side. Gandolfo in the T-69 may have been the one that landed that shot, and he continually fires into that direction. Doc Golem takes out the T1, though.
And Mega Monero is now spotted as well. Doc Golem's lining up, just waiting for that reload to make this shot. It's a good shot again, taking down both T1s. And that's a huge win for River Blood. They now have T1 advantage, and they can send their T1s to do whatever they want. And they will, I think. I see now GQ driving around to the backside of a hill, having a great time. Canaduck as well is going to send, I think he'd be sent off to the south, maybe to put cap pressure on Game Over's cap.
And the T1 Death Squad annihilated inside of Game Over.
Now GQ is sniping from A5 onto the spotted positions of these T-69s. I don't think he'll be able to pen, but at least he'll scare some tanks away.
Well, Nip 100 in the 1390, not staying near that flag cap, heading further south. He could be climbing up from that western position to get up to the central area on the donut, but he's forsaking all that northern potential pressure, and so all the pressure is going to come out from either the north or south side of that central ridge. That means River Blood has more map control towards the east. They can use that east favorable play if a push comes against them, and they can get the flank if they're set up for that. No big setup happening yet, except for a couple tanks moving to the south, but NIP 100, along with tanking Dhaka, are going to head to the south, and they could set up a nice flank or some cleanup kills, cleanup engagements to the south side. Who is down to the south for River
Down to
Blood?
the south, Dopper is still down there. They're moving Canaduck out as well. These two 1390s could find Dopper, and if they find him, this is a 2v1. Not good for Dopper, and they could also lose Canaduck. A huge blow to River of Blood, as there is NIP 100 spotted. Dopper recognizes this, and now he's at a huge disadvantage. He's out in the open, and I think Canaduck might be spotted. Canaduck has taken cover behind a rock, and now shots fired by Dopper.
That was a bounce off NIP. He checks his
and now Dopper's
hole
running.
and moves.
Dopper's getting out of here. He doesn't want to be in this much longer, as shots from the middle, I think, were going out.
Yep.
Dopper will escape, though, I think. Unscathed? Yes, he will. Smart move by River Blood, but they may lose Canaduck.
A couple more shots coming out from the mountainside next to the lighthouse, but now tanking Dhaka, pushing up against Canaduck in the T1. Does Doc Golem have a shot on him? No. Canaduck tries to fire in defense, but tanking Dhaka takes him out.
Dopper won't even look for shots. Oh, tanking Dhaka taking fire from the middle. Those are 1390s up there. Rylak, one of them, and possibly 2AP3.
Nice shot from 2AP3. It is a bounce, though, but barely hitting the hole as he turns around the corner.
But 2AP3 has taken some hits. He's down to 660, and that's punishment, I think, from the Pershing in the middle. Dopper didn't punish, though, any of those 1390s for killing Canaduck. Huge loss. I'm waiting for GQ to maybe come into this and be part of the fight, or for River Blood push across into the donut area. They know there are 1390s to the south. They're a little bit cut off, but if there were a push from River Blood, maybe they could rejoin the fight just towards the end when other 1390s are reloading. Really dicey situation as NIP 100 takes fire from Dopper. Dopper puts another shot into him, and shots from the middle will put NIP down to 413. Dopper misses his third shot, and now he's going to move in on NIP. Oh, he catches fire and takes multiple shots from the west. He goes down. That is, who gets that?
That was NIP 100 that got the kill against Dopper. He lives. He moves up closer to the house, gets the reload, and waits. Rylak in the 1390 waiting for him to pop out and get the kill. His teammate is battle buddy to the south. That is tanking Dhaka in the 1390. He's trading fire, 663 to 1100, and he's behind this house.
Although Rylak is going in on NIP 100, Rylak gets close, makes the shot on the move, but takes fire from tanking Dhaka, and that is the push. Rylak down 316, hides behind a building. And there goes Doc Golem in the Pershing, as Savagey is the one left alone in the middle against Rafa Beta.
Dhaka falls back, 411, takes a big hit from behind, continues to move through the building scapes here. And can he get out of there? It looks like he was able to escape.
Just barely. 2AP3 not able to line up the shot. Now Savage in the middle is the most healthy member of River of Blood. Gigmaster and Gendorfo are sitting pretty comfy. Savage misses the shot on tanking Daka. One more shot may get him. He misses it. Savage not able to lead his target quite enough. Gendorfo taking a hit. Savage has to be reloading by now, as Gigmaster and Gendorfo are going to be able to finish him off with ease.
And they're able to get that cleanup kill. Rylak and 2AP3, 2 tanks that are able to deal damage against these 4 Tier 8 tanks. River of Blood is in trouble in battle number 3 on mines.
Yep, 2AP3 is going to go for the draw position. He's going to hide on some low ground. Back towards the base. GQ is spotted, and he's going to get rammed, go down. With that, you've got 2AP3 and Rylak left. Rylak may hold back, I think, and try to stop the cap. There's a minute 44. 2 tanks getting on cap. They could get it, but Rylak is spotted. Trades with Rafa Beta. No damage traded, though. Just a standoff. And now I think you're going to have to see 2AP3 actually stop the cap. Huge for River Blood to stop this. 43 seconds left on cap, minute 26 in the battle. They need to get a reset for this to go to a draw, or they could get enough shots out to get the kill. Rylak, though, is going to find Gigmaster. 1 shot into him, but he takes a hit. 2nd shot into him, and he's going to go down.
And that's it for Rylak. Gigmaster gets that cleanup kill. 1 more tank left alive, 2AP3.
Oh, they both miss. Rafa Beta misses on 2AP3. 2AP3 gets a shot off into Rafa. He's down to 10 hit points. And now they may square off again, but both Rafa Beta and 2AP3 are a 1-shot. 2AP3 needs to get the reset. 10 seconds left on the clock. It's a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure and a lot of distance. He's not going to get it.
No, not anymore. 3 seconds left. 2, 1.
Rafa Beta can stop him too once he turns the corner. And that's it. Game over. Is able to take battle number 3 on Cliff. Tying it up 1-1. That actually brings us into kind of a best of 3 scenario, sort of. If Game Over wins the next battle and then it's a draw, they win. River of Blood, same thing. If they win and then it's a draw, it's River of Blood's game with a 2-1 victory. Close. Closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, well, they're at the same amount of points in the season, both of them sitting at 6. So 2 wins for each of them. They just need that 1 more. They're about even as far as the playing field goes. Game Over very well could have been in our finals last season, but they just barely didn't make it. River of Blood also played it pretty close last season. I think they both belong on about the same level. This is a close matchup.
We'll take a quick commercial break. We come back. Battle number 4 of River of Blood versus Game Over in the Gold League for World of Tanks. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Gold League for World of Tanks. River of Blood and Game Over are duking it out in their final battle of Season 3 group play. They're playing not only to make it to the finals, but to have a chance at that $50,000 first place prize, second place $25,000, and the $100,000 prize pool is divided up after that for the top 4 teams. And the next battle, Game Over. We've seen them hang back in a defensive play, and then we've seen them go east sometimes. River of Blood.
Well, I'll tell you what River of Blood does.
What do they do? It's kind of up in the air to think about what they do, because I see them just hanging in the city block areas along with a lot of other
remember
teams.
They pushed right through the middle in the past, and they've actually taken the wall along Foxtrot 4-5. And from that wall, they kind of make a push around both ways and try and make some kind of pincer movement, or possibly make their way off to the west from there. But it's I hope they don't do that again, because I think they'll get countered out by Game Over.
Possibly. Only one way to find out, though. It's time for ENTS, battle number 4, River of Blood versus Game Over. Let's battle.
Looking at the tanks, 5100, 3 IS-3s, and Doc Golem in the Waffle, mounting the 150, by the way. On the other side, we've got Tanky Doc in that IS-6, again, 110 and 3 5100s. Interesting lineup. I don't know about that IS-6, and I don't know about the Waffle. However, Doc has performed pretty well.
Doc Golem is the best performer in the Waffenfrage in all of the Gold League's existence.
Nice. All right, well, we'll see if he can keep it up as he is heading to the south.
City block from both teams here on the west. And Gandorfo leading the charge real fast. Going more towards that city block with, oh, this is actually coming from River of Blood. Extreme in the T1. Is he spotted? Does he see him?
Rafa Beta spotted. He will take a hit.
Takes a big hit to the front.
Big hit. Doc Golem, though, was not quite prepared for that. And so Rafa Beta it luckily, I think, has not taken all that fire. 2AP3 takes a hit, though.
Rafa Beta's shot towards Doppler. It was a miss through that window. And Gigmaster, oh, big hit against the 110. That was able to penetrate. Right.
Oh,
But
big
there we
hit
go.
from Doc Golem.
Where there would have been spaced armor here. That was against Tanking Doc on the IS-6.
Yeah.
Taking him down to 802 from 1550.
That hurts so much. Doc Golem, nice shot, though. Making the 150 do some work. And that's a huge health point lead.
It is a huge health point. Now I'm going to jump over to Nip 100. In the 5100, he is going for the railroad side, which is completely open. River of Blood is focused on the city. And they're trying to make the one line happen here.
But Canada and GQ are in the base. They'll find Extreme in the T1. And they wait for him to go out in the open. Shots fired from both T1s. And they barely don't take him down. Just not able to make it. GQ at some Extreme range, but Canada a little closer. Probably could have made that work. Extreme, though, it's still alive. GQ's loaded. Canada's loaded. Gets the kill.
Gandorfo gets track shot. 1068 at a 1400 here. Another shot could ring against him, but he's going to fall back very swiftly. Proxy spotting Savagey through the city wall. And no further engagement yet.
Just a strong position out of River of Blood. Not being all that aggressive this series. They're playing a slow game. And there we go. Nip 100 takes down Canada in the T1, evening up that T1 advantage. Wondering where Mega Manero is, why he isn't doing... Oh, never mind. GQ's down as well. That's T1 advantage to game over. They could put some cap pressure on, possibly pull Mega Manero out of... I think he's in the backfield, isn't he?
Yes, Mega Manero is all the way to the back, indicating that he needs to go through the railroad tracks now since both T1s are down. We'll be joining Nip 100 in a couple seconds.
With that, that's cap pressure potential. But I think Doppler, yes, Doppler is on his way into the backfield, looking for that T1 cap pressure. Just calling it, River of Blood, knowing the potential for their opponents to put that cap pressure on. Are going to send someone in the back. Smart move.
Gandorfo 1068 at a 1400, tanking Doc at 802. And Rafa Beta in his 110 at 1173, hanging back here in a defensive posture along the Foxtrot line. And now, up to the north, the T1, Mega Manero. We'll see the 5100. Doppler gets the kill, and now it's a straight 5-on-5, all tier 8s.
Yeah. Too bad they really squandered their advantage. Just River Blood knowing what was coming.
Gandorfo falls. Nice shots coming around the corner from the IS-3s. And Doc Golem and his Rumba has not taken any damage.
They're playing it right.
Taking Taka, getting hit, and they're going for the isolations. They're pushing in while the 150-100 is away on the railroad tracks. They know they don't have the firepower to match what they have, and they're going to continue the firefight. Big shot against the IS-6, down to 25 HP. Gigmaster still staying with it. The 5100 against 2 AP in the IS-3. 2 AP down to 567. Taking Taka takes a hit against Savagey. Savagey lines up the shot.
Whoa, Nip 100's in the backfield, and he's able to take down the... He's able to take down an IS-3.
Nip 100 was the one that went up the railroad tracks. This is why River Blood pushed in. Rafa Beta. Oh, nice moves by Rafa Beta. Bouncing a number of shots from the 5100 in his 110 as he backs away. It's not going to be enough, though, because boom, from behind is Savagey in the IS-3.
This is a situation like we saw the other day. 3 tanks left alive against their opponent on Ensk. But this is very different in that Savagey, Rylak, and Doppler are at full health almost. They're not one-shots. And that 5100 is going to have a lot of trouble. Nip, I don't think he can do this. He's going to start the cap pressure. The River of Blood's got 3 tanks they can throw on cap. And they should be able to cap it out, no problem.
Nip 100 did indicate fly cap pressure for a second, but now he's heading to the east. With 3 tanks against 1, Nip's going to have to move south as fast as he can, which he is doing, to keep up the fight and to stop this fly cap from happening. Any way to stop the victory is what he's going to have to focus on.
It's really difficult, though. I don't think he can do it. It would require a huge mistake by River of Blood. They are moving. They have Doppler on the cap already. Savagey and Rylak have joined them. 25 seconds left.
And down to 20. As Nip 100 gets closer, he's going to get at least 1 reset. But the volley of fire coming out of this IS-3s and 5100s, he is spotted through the fence.
And
staying behind metal pipes here for cover. Now falling back in reverse angle. Gets 1 shot for the reset, bringing it to 16 seconds with a huge volley against him. 87 hit points left.
Doppler misses one shell, and another. If he misses again, he will go down. He misses again, and he actually is going to go down.
But there's a final shot. And that's going to be a victory for River of Blood. 2-1, and 1 battle left to go.
Well played by River of Blood. That Waffle did some work. How much damage did it do?
The Waffentrager was able to unleash 2,203 damage.
Doing work.
3 for 3 with his shots. Doc Golem continues to be the best performer with the Waffentrager. I want to look over tanking Daka here. Potential damage received 1,920. Couple bounce shots from the 5,100. He was jimmying his armor back and forth, dancing his armor back in that 110, and was able to have at least 2 of those shots bounce from that 5,100. So nice play by him to stay alive as long as possible, but he had just over 200 HP. IS-3 pushes in, gets the kill. You have to stay alive as long as possible, though, in any scenario.
Yeah, and that was a good flank, though, by the 5,100. The last one alive, that was tanking Daka?
No, that was Rafa Beta.
Rafa
or
Beta.
not, no, he was in the 110. It was Nip 100.
Nip
100 went up the railroad tracks, and he was up to it.
When he was behind, he actually got 2 kills. He killed the Waffle, and he killed an IS-3. So good job by him. Unfortunately, the River of Blood had done so much better in that brawl already.
It was Rafa Beta in the 110. It was tanking Daka in the IS-3. So let me make an adjustment. Sorry about that, Rafa. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We come back. Battle number 5 between River of Blood and Game Over. After this, we're going to find out who's going to be in the tiebreakers and the potential playoffs. Stay tuned. I just want to quickly make that adjustment. I was talking about the 110. It was Rafa Beta. Potential damage received 3,240. Those are from the bounce shots. I was looking at the IS-6. My apologies. Well done, Rafa Beta, for that. And we are now ready for Steps, which will be battle number 5. Let's jump in the battle and talk about the potential scenarios if we actually move to a shootout after this. River of Blood versus Game Over, battle number 5 on Steps. Who can take it? Let's find out.
Yeah. Real quick, though, tanks. 2 T-32s, a Pershing, 2 1390s, Canada, and a Lowell Tractor. Other side, Game Over. 2 Pershings, 3 1390s. Now, if this goes to Game Over, if Game Over wins on Steps, we go to a shootout. If we go to a shootout, that guarantees whoever wins the shootout, 5th place. There's no possible tie for 4th. They're in 5th, and they will fight the 4th place person in bracket A.
If it goes to shootout, the loser is out of the standings to make it to the finals.
Yes. But we already knew that part.
Yes.
Yeah. But now the winner, where they stand, is not as awesome. However, they don't have to fight they don't have to fight any tiebreakers or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Potential tiebreakers.
They will be in 5th place then.
Yes.
Okay. So does that mean there's no tiebreakers in Bravo Division?
That could mean there's no tiebreakers in Bravo Division. But
Still
let's
have
don't
one more.
say that
I
yet,
know,
Clutch.
we still have one more Bravo Division match tonight. We still have 2 more Alpha Division matches tonight as well. There will be a tiebreaker no matter what, unless we do go to shootouts as well. Which is crazy, man, the shootout scenario. T1 taking some damage, Mega Monero. And Rafa Beta sees him from far away taking those hits.
Wow, Mega Monero down to 41 hit points. Little T1 fight happening at range. I'm amazed he got that much damage in. Although Canada is off in, it's going off into the hills.
Gigmaster falling back in the Pershing along with Gandorfo. Staying close. And the lineup is not spotted yet on the side of River of Blood. Do see Canada on the screen though. There he is on screen, charging up the mountains, looking for a position. When I hike, I sing to myself. That's what I imagine Canada's doing. Gandorfo fires a shot into the Pershing.
Connection.
River of Blood, but he falls back, not continuing the engagement.
Oh, nice connection. It hits through his gun mantlet. I know the edges are a little bit thinner, but I didn't think they were that thin. Solid connection onto 283, takes him down to 1219. That could have been his commander taken out in that shot. Commander sits right underneath that little hatch. That's very tall, everyone. On the other side is the gunner, and somewhere in there is also the loader. So you gotta watch out.
Where's the radio operator?
I think the radio operator is one of the other roles. I can't remember who takes that
some
role.
of these tanks, some of these tanks have multi-roles. Well, they wear many hats.
Maybe, who is it? I can't remember. Honestly, can't remember who the radio operator is in a Pershing. I wish I could.
We can always find out in the garage.
Yeah.
We have access to that information.
But no one really cares about the poor radio operator.
I
in World of
care,
Tanks. In World of Tanks. Well, not the KV5's radio operator. That poor guy, no one cares. He's a ghost.
He's the one in the R2-D2 unit.
Yeah.
He's the one that gets targeted the most.
Now, Extreme is chasing Canaduck into the hills. Don't know if that's the best idea, but Canaduck will have the first shot.
Game
And he
over.
misses!
Oh,
now
big
Extreme
miss.
gets to just unload, but he misses a lot as
Canaduck
well.
is hurting.
T1 fight, go! Back and forth. Duck can't get a shot on him. Just can't get his gun down. They're all going so far over. I don't think he has the depression. He's gonna be
Nero's
depressed
holding
if
back
he
in
loses
the
this
other,
1v1.
the other
I know
team
that
won.
much.
Game over. Game over. Is it trying to take a lot of map control here?
Oh, and GQ goes down.
Could this be a push?
Oh, but Doppler's kind of cut off. There's maybe a T1 fight happening, but there goes Duck and Doppler.
Nip 100 gets a nice shot. Trying to get a nice shot on the T-32s. They fire into the 1390s, moving past them, and Gandorfo. Gandorfo takes the brunt of that damage. And now the 1390s circling like a pack of hyenas against their prey. The Water Buffalo, the Pershings, the T-32s, and the 1390 are huddled together, ready to strike with their horns. Mega Manero getting shot up to the north as Gigmaster and the Pershing is pushing up even closer. Pershing firing into this 1390. Nip 100 fires. Looks like that might have been a miss. Nip 100 taking another hit to the front, and they're going to push the Water Buffalo. Strike back against the hyenas. And taking Dhaka is now backing up on the run from River of Blood. 690 gets a nice shot against 2AP3. He takes a hit on his side. Rafa Beta comes in the 1390. Savagey misses another shot.
Looks like he's lagging or something, just with the way he's not able to lead shots today. And he is going to be able to just annoy Rafa Beta for a minute, taking as much fire as he can. Dopper, in the meantime, is reloaded, and he finds tanking Dhaka in the backfield as he runs away, chasing him down. Not a lot he's going to be able to do against this 1390 completely loaded. Finishes him off. Now it's Rafa Beta. He looks for him. Connects.
Dopper and the Pershing from 2AP3 shoot at the same time, and then Dopper gets the final hit.
Beautiful shot. Such a thin shot for Dopper to make, and he makes it again.
2 tanks remain for game over. And the turning shot from Savagey, and Gigmaster falls. Extreme, the last tank left alive. As Dopper moves in, River of Blood will get the victory, and that is it. River of Blood takes the series 3-1 with 1 draw in 5 battles, and it's game over for game over.
Clutch.
I had to do it. I had to do it. I had
Man.
to do it.
But that will put River of Blood at 9 points. They're currently going to be tied with the Googly Boppers. The Googly Boppers will be our last match of tonight, and they play Simp. That's going to be hard to break away from for the Googly Boppers.
Real tough.
Yeah.
Real tough. Well, we are going to move on to match number 3 of Top Tier versus Spurglords. Stay tuned. The Gold League for World of Tanks will continue.